I've seen a lot of sad Democrats online and gloating Republicans because of the result in the TN7 special election, but the reality is the results show that we are headed towards a big Democratic victory in 2026, including both winning the House and the Senate. If there's one thing you need to understand about this special election is that it looks a lot more like a midterm because turnout is going to meet or exceed the levels in 2022, which for a special election is nuts. So why does that turnout difference matter? Well, when turnout is smaller, we can expect much bigger swings in special elections. So, in these previous four special elections where turnout is 50 to 60% of 2022, Democrats are going to basically overperform what they could ever do in a midterm or general election because the turnout dynamics are heavily favoring Democrats. Now that we have an election where turnout basically looks like what it would be in a midterm, maybe a little bit shy, we can much more easily transpose this 13-point swing onto the map in 2026 and see where we are likely headed. If we see anything north of a 10-point swing in 2026, we are looking at 250 Democrats versus about 185 Republicans in the House. And what makes the TN7 district so interesting is that we are actually missing many of the groups that are swinging the most towards the Democrats. So when we take a look at the New Jersey governor's race, for instance, where are we seeing Democrats pick up the most votes versus Kamala Harris? It's in areas with high Latino, Black, and South Asian populations. Other than a relatively small group of Black voters in Davidson County, those groups were not present in TN7. You have to understand that in this special election, outside of Davidson County, Nashville, we were dealing with the least swingy type of voter, the most inelastic voting group, and that is white evangelical voters. So, Williamson County, for instance, which is a wealthy Republican suburb outside of Nashville, is dominated by white evangelical voters, and this county stands out above all else as being the least likely to swing towards the Democrats. So, when you look at all the counties in the United States by educational attainment and political leaning, Williamson County is that weird outlier in the bottom right. As in, Williamson County is the most educated Republican county in the entire United States. So, we are dealing with an electorate that is not shifting like the electorate we see in the rest of the United States, which means that one could easily assume that the shift we are seeing in TN7 is going to be less than the shift we're going to see in the rest of the country, where much more swingy groups like Latino voters, Asian voters, Black voters, white non evangelical voters are going to be a much higher proportion of the electorate. This election result even starts putting Republican gerrymanders at risk. This is the new map for Ohio with the presidential 2024 election results on the left. A 12-point swing would flip four Republican districts. The same dynamic is true in North Carolina. GOP would lose probably three seats there. So 10 plus points is where we start seeing gerrymanders starting to fail.